"I can't take any more of this," Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor told Epstein. Newly released emails show, "Welcome back, royal watchers, to Crown Chronicles, the channel where truth meets tradition and where the most gripping royal revelations unfold before your eyes. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect moment. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss the inside stories, controversies, and breathtaking twists that keep the monarchy at the center of global attention." Today's episode is shocking, unsettling, and absolutely crucial for understanding the storm surrounding Prince Andrew. What we're about to uncover comes straight from newly released emails, and they paint a picture far darker and more desperate than anything the public has seen before. Imagine this: a prince of the realm, born into privilege, surrounded by wealth, status, and deference, writing a message filled with frustration, fear, and the words, "I can't take any more of this." Those words reportedly came from Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, better known to the world as Prince Andrew, in a private communication with none other than Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, that Epstein. And these emails, once locked away in legal archives, have now surfaced, sparking fresh outrage, renewed public scrutiny, and a wave of questions that the royal family hoped the world had finally forgotten. The email suggests something extraordinary: that Andrew may have been far more entangled in Epstein's world, emotionally, personally, and even strategically, than anyone previously knew. It has long been understood that the Duke of York had maintained a friendship with Epstein, despite Epstein's already damaged reputation. But what these emails reveal isn't just a friendship. It's a dynamic filled with tension, pressure, and Andrew's growing sense of desperation. The message "I can't take any more of this" appears to have been written during a period when scandals around Epstein were growing louder, investigations were tightening, and the media spotlight was intensifying. Whether Andrew was referring to the scrutiny, Epstein's demands, or pressures inside the palace remains unclear, but what is clear is that these words expose a prince struggling behind the scenes in ways the world never imagined. To understand the magnitude of this revelation, we must remember how tightly the royal family guards their private communications. For an email like this to surface publicly is almost unheard of. It signals not only a legal shift in the wider Epstein investigations but a dramatic blow to the carefully controlled image of the monarchy, an image already strained by Andrew's disastrous 2019 Newsnight interview, which many still consider the most damaging media moment in modern royal history. According to insiders who have seen the full correspondence, Andrew's emails show signs of emotional conflict. He appears torn between loyalty to a friend and fear for his own reputation. Some lines reportedly read like a man pleading for space. Others like someone trying to distance himself without fully cutting ties. The tone, we're told, shifts from frustration to resignation. And then, at moments, to outright exhaustion. This revelation couldn't come at a worse time for the Duke of York, who has already been forced out of public royal life, stripped of military roles, and removed from official duties. King Charles has made it clear that there is no pathway back into the inner circle for Andrew. The monarchy is firmly in its slimmed-down era, and Andrew's scandals, legally settled but publicly unresolved, are simply too explosive, yet the emergence of these emails has done more than reopen old wounds. It has reignited public debate, cast new shadows over past associations, and raised the question: what else was happening behind closed doors that the world has not yet seen? Because this one message, just a few words in a private email, suggests a prince who was panicked long before the headlines ever exploded. Royal sources claim the palace is bracing itself. They know how these things work: once one document surfaces, others usually follow. More emails, more messages, more fragments of communication that could expose even deeper layers of Andrew's relationship with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. And with Epstein's files still being combed through by courts, lawyers, and journalists, this may not be the end. It may only be the beginning. Behind palace walls, whispers say the family is deeply concerned. Not just because the monarchy is built on reputation, stability, and symbolism, but because Andrew's ongoing legal and public relations nightmares continue to cast a long shadow over King Charles's efforts to present a modern, responsible, and unified royal household. Charles is said to be determined to protect the institution above all else, even if it means distancing himself further from his own brother, Meanwhile, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie have reportedly been left feeling caught in the crossfire. The resurfacing of these emails could bring renewed media harassment, something they have tried desperately to escape. For years, the princesses have maintained that they want to build normal lives, careers, and identities outside the scandals surrounding their father. But once again, they find themselves thrust back into a narrative they never asked for, and then there is Sarah Ferguson, a figure who has always stayed loyally by Andrew's side despite their divorce. Insiders say she is anxious and upset, fearing that the world will again judge Andrew harshly, and by extension, judge her. She has spent years rebuilding her public image, launching books and charities, only to see her efforts overshadowed each time new revelations about Andrew emerge. But perhaps the most haunting question is this: what did Epstein have on Andrew, and how much pressure was Andrew truly under when he wrote those fateful words, "I can't take any more of this"? Was it fear of exposure? Fear of association? Fear of being trapped? Or fear of losing everything? Some analysts believe Andrew may have been attempting to distance himself but found himself unable to fully sever ties. Others argue he was already aware that Epstein's world was crumbling and was desperately trying to protect himself before the collapse became public. Whatever the truth is, the emails show a man unraveling under the weight of secrets, a prince whose private words are now public property. As this story continues to unfold, one thing is certain: the monarchy faces yet another test of transparency, accountability, and resilience. And for Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, the consequences of these newly released emails may reverberate for years to come. Thank you for watching Crown Chronicles. If you found this story gripping, and trust us, more revelations are on the way, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because when it comes to royal scandals, royal secrets, and royal twists, this channel is where the truth reigns.